One thing you just pointed out, Craig, I didn't realize, when you have the one pedal drive on, which they call E-step,
yeah.
the brake pedal actually goes down on the floor.
like an old school cruise control where the gas pedal moves. Man, see that? See that? Naturally aspirated V8. Some call it a dinosaur.
Come here.
Ryan.
This is not TTC Cars. This is Texas Truck Channel. I'm
sorry.
Brian. That's Craig. Behind me is the flipping future compared to that dinosaur. It hurts to say that. God. Anyways, this is the Nissan Ariya Empower Plus, and what that means is 289 miles of range. And take a look at this thing. It's got some styling going on. The issue is that it's $60,000, or just shy of. So is
that's $60,000.
Right. So it's
okay.
two different things for two different people, but there is a group of people that really want something like this, and I want to talk about its competitors being Mach-E and ID4 are the two I think of the most. But let's go to the front. Let's start with the nose, and let's just get into that. Aesthetically, I've had mixed reviews on this, but I'm going to tell you, I think it looks pretty darn good.
Agreed.
For what this thing is. It's got this kind of V-notch grille, and it's hard to tell on camera if you come up here. There's actually texture behind this grille.
Oh, and that continues throughout the interior and all throughout.
Yeah, so it's a design hue. They did not slack on the design with this, and this logo is an optional $750 kit that is backlit at night.
Looks really cool. Very Mercedes-ish.
Yes, very. And then the side sills are downlit, and it says Nissan. There is downlighting all the way down this rail, which looks really good and has the Nissan logo. The point of contention for me, Craig, are these wheels. Come on down, check these guys out. So these are the optional 19-inch wheels. These are $1,900, which I'm sorry.
That's an option.
That's too much for 19-inch wheels. If you're gonna pay that kind of money, get some Michelins on here or something that really gets it done. These aren't noisy or anything like that, but they don't handle especially well. I'm sure the eco side of them is what's really making it happen because the range is good on this. So don't think performance, think, oh, I want a new Leaf, and it happens to be really nice. That's kind of what's going on here.
Oh, hey, Brian, this is a crossover. It's overheady, right?
No, not at all.
What?
No,
not
even slightly. Because this is really, it looks tall, but it's really not that tall. And there's a big battery on there, and there's not skid plates. And that's also not textured, which means if you hit a tree, it's going to just on the side.
Scratch it.
But the paint is really nice. I like the paint a lot.
I do like the color.
Get kind of profile. You got two-tone. You've got blue and black, and then you've got the satin rail instead of chrome, which I think that looks good. I like that. You've also got the black continuing down low. A lot of colors, a lot of stuff going on. One thing I do like is that it has the keypad on every door, not just the driver's door. So the put your hand in to unlock it and then lock it with the texture button. Every door has that. I like that a lot. Some cars cheap out and do it just on the driver. You're loading kids, you need that on every door handle. So good job on that. Check out the roof. We've got a pano sunroof, and you've got twin fins on the top. That means probably dual range. I don't know. That means satellite and antenna up there. Kind of neat. It is balanced. I like the look of it. Coming on down to the back, Aria is dimensional right here. I think that people struggle with this name like crazy. I've told people I'm driving an Aria, they see I text the name out and they go, what? I don't understand it. Rednecks can't handle it. It's Aria, in case you're wondering. It's a good name. I like it. Nissan is behind glass right here. It's dimensional behind glass. They're just layering things up here, and it's pretty cool. Down here, Empower Plus, that does not mean fast or all-wheel drive. That means range. And then check out these exhaust tips down here. Ah, just kidding, there aren't any. We'll rev it for you too. All right, that was it. Let's check it out on the hood. Ready for the juice?
Oh, you hit it.
Check it out under the hood. Now, point of contention, Craig. Something that some of its competitors do is when you pop the hood, you have like a frunk. And that's one thing that the Mach-E gives you that I like a lot. But Kia does this too. They've shoved a motor in here. But I feel like if you're gonna do a skateboard platform and a whole new thing, like bury that and give me some storage here. I wish you could do that, or at least have storage for the charging cable. The good news is it comes with a charging cable, which some EVs don't. Props to Nissan. That's actually a big deal. You're going to want a level 2 plug.
It's a good one.
And it's a good one. It charges quick. No complaints there. This thing's good for 238 horsepower. It uses a 78 kilowatt hour battery on board, and they quote that as a usable 78 kilowatt hour, which makes me wonder if other batteries aren't usable, or maybe they don't have as much. They're not reporting the whole total capacity.
That's good storage.
That's true. You can put your hat there. I'm sure that'll work out fine. One more thing to check out over here. It does have a 7.8 kilowatt hour onboard charger. And here's your fuel door. I love that it's on the passenger front. So when you pull into a charge port station, that's where it should be on every EV. I wish they were consistent. That's your level 2 at home. And this is going to be your fast charger. You could use a port that uses both right there. So one of the benefits of this is that it does charge quite quickly in our experience. And the range is pretty darn good. Let's check out the interior. That's the highlight of this thing.
Let's check out what's really cool about this EV. This is actually a pretty good luxury product from Nissan. If this had an Infinity badge, I wouldn't be surprised. The packaging's really neat in this. So moving on to let's start out here in the back. You've got all kinds of storage. Let's get the first aid kit out of the way. Well, it's Velcroed on there good. It's not going anywhere. But you got all these little tiers, these little levels. You can take it out and you can stack it and rearrange it in different ways. Here's your onboard charger that works great. Plug it in at home if you want to. Use it around town. Who knows what you need it for. It works wonderful, but you get plenty of storage back here. All right, you can also fold the seats down real good. You remove the cover and then you hit the button and it just flips right down.
Ooh,
that's pretty quick.
Really
so you do have to move back to the front to pull them back up. They don't leave you a strap to pull it back up. But look at all that room you have now.
Yeah, jump in there. Look at that.
So that's a lot of room. That's pretty good. So you can fit me back here.
Maybe you can overland in there.
You can't. I think this is designed for overlanding is what that is.
Yeah, we know.
So
maybe we need an Aria Rock Creek.
Ooh.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. All right, moving on to the back, we're going to convert from overlanding to driving around town. You get in the back, and the hip point is perfect. Like, a lot of people are going to like this, and this is why crossovers sell so well. Hip point's good. You sit in, the materials are actually pretty good. Ron, you'll notice here, this material's a little different. It's like suede right here. You get the same thing up in the front.
I noticed that breathes a little bit in the middle.
It does, and then you get suede in the center, and then go back to the leather, and it feels like good. I don't know if it's real leather, but it feels really soft. You get a nice center armrest that doesn't go to the ground. It's actually pretty comfortable and convenient. This right here, you get rear seated heat. You can't get rear crotch chillers, but you do get USB-A and USB-C. Even though it's high tech, you get a little bit of old school throwback and rear vents. That's nice as well. The other cool thing about this is this thing moves forward and aft, so you can actually move it farther back if you need to, or farther forward. You get mat pockets back here with a neat texture. One of the things I love about EVs is they feel like they're not confined. The designers use all kinds of different textiles and materials and design. They're free to do it because it's not a gas car. Don't know why, but that's what they do. Brian, before we move to the front, look at all this headroom I've got. I've got plenty of headroom. It's, I got a little bit, it's close, but I've got plenty of room, nothing hitting. With this huge panoramic roof, let's see what happens when you sit in here.
Oh boy, I'm nervous.
Here we go. So.
Got a hat on.
Oh,
okay. Well, take the hat off. Take the hat off.
That's a little bit, I'm just gonna say a little bit of a fail.
I wonder how NHTSA feels about this in crash safety.
They don't care about 6'4" people.
Oh, now we know.
Okay. All right, Brian, moving on to the front, let's start with the door. Over here, you might see on your side, you get piano black on the window switches, which is an interesting design choice. You don't always get that in cars. Usually that's reserved for the center consoles, but not in this. And then you got room for your hydro flask. Probably could squeeze that sucker in. And Brian, I want you to notice next to the speaker there, you get the design of those little triangles you mentioned up front on the grill that continue there on the speaker above the arm pull. And that's pretty neat. We're going to see it some other spots as we get in. Before we get in though, look at that door seal. That lights up at night. It's really cool. You see Aria, and then underneath you would see Nissan because it's underneath the sill versus the door, so it stays fixed, which is pretty cool. All right, let's get in. I want you to, there's plenty of room up here. This thing is comfortable up here. I'm going to go ahead and start it and show the people a lot of things, and then we'll get to the rest of the interior. So got a little startup sequence here. Nothing too crazy, but we'll get some graphics and some things come on, and that stuff's cool. Yes. All right, so this is to make sure you're actually staying awake and looking forward. It'll let you know if you're not looking forward. We'll talk about that on the drive. But you get a lot of modes here that you can scroll through, toggle through, going up and down, and it's pretty cool and pretty customizable. You can get a map, you can get driving aids, tire pressure, of course. I like this screen a lot. It tells you as you're driving around how much longer it's going to take you to get to 80%, because that's what everybody cares about. And so you can look here to 160 minutes to get to 80%, but a full 6 hours to get to 100%. And that's a big thing to keep in mind. And I like how it has a percentage gauge, but also it looks like a regular fuel gauge. That's really cool.
That's nice and conventional. I like that.
It's very conventional. And then over here in the center stack, you get Apple CarPlay. I'm not going to show you that. It looks the same in every car. But the Nissan home infotainment stuff is pretty cool. Google Maps runs their actual map, although it doesn't show the graphics from Google Maps, but it uses Google to find things. And then, if we can get to different screens, let's go back to home. I'm going to scroll through. You get some cool stuff in here, and you can toggle these little widgets. That's pretty neat. You get weather, You get weather alerts. This right here I like a lot. It shows you your range. That's how far I can drive in the DFW Metroplex with my current charge.
And that's based on the next nearest charger.
Yes, and so you click on that, it'll find the nearest charger for you. I will say I tested it where I live, and some of these chargers don't exist, so that's a thing. But that's part of the EV life. That's just how it goes. So that's just pretty cool. Moving on down here, you get cool textiles. This is actually a wood simulated. It's not wood, but it looks like wood-like.
Yeah.
And these buttons are haptic. You don't push them down, but you just touch them, and it gives you a little vibration back, which is pretty neat. I like how that works. Moving on down to the center console, look at all this room here. I've got room and gobs of room for days. I like this. My wife mentioned she's afraid that her purse is going to sit over here and spill into the center and then be behind a pedal. I guess that could be a thing, but you know what? We got a little bit of solution here, because if you hit this little button here, it says open. We hold it down, and oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. So you can set things there, Brian, put your phone there or your wallet. Yeah, so you can just put things. That's cool. I've got stuff down in there. It's actually kind of cool.
It's a big
It's a big bin, and it keeps things out of the way. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. All right, let's move on. Moving into the center console. If you want more leg room, look at this. I just hold this back, and now I can really man spread in this thing, or woman spread.
Look down here.
And you get more charging and ports and things down here. That's pretty cool. Things are out of the way. And USB-A, USB-C, yes, so you can still charge it. Wireless charging is actually back here, Brian. Put your phone in there. It's just out of the way. Everything's neat and modern and clean and sleek. Problem is that wireless charger doesn't work all the time, although it's working now.
Oh, happened to you too?
Yeah, happened to me too.
Can we talk about this real quick?
Yeah, Brian, go ahead. You had a beef there. You sent me a picture.
I did. So when you're a kid, you have the round peg trying to go to a square hole.
Yeah.
That's what this is. So a round cup going in here, if it's styrofoam, it actually starts to cut the cup.
Wait. So you mean the square is not good for the round?
Exactly. So if you take for example, a Sonic cup, like a 32-ounce styrofoam cup.
Yeah, your ocean water.
Right. Plop that in there. It doesn't sit in all the way, and it starts to, where it radiuses in, it starts to crack the cup after about 5 minutes. So,
well, Brian, people that drive EVs don't get ocean water. So, okay, let's continue.
Okay, solved.
We do have another cool thing here. We have this parking button. You hit that, and this is really neat. I want to show this. Auto park. I want it to park well. It's probably not working because Brian's in the way. But,
oh, yeah, I got the door.
But it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to do it. Okay, here we go. We're going to park. You hit the little park button here. You decide if where exactly I want to move that parking spot. I can toggle it around, and then you just hit start, and it just does its own thing, and it actually works kind of good. Brian, enough of all that. I think we should take it on the road, check out the sport, eco, and normal modes, and see what it does. Hit it. Did you rev it?
Yeah, no, I actually brake torqued it. I really did.
Why does it sound like the MX-30, like a highway tram?
And 60 miles an hour.
In
7.8 seconds.
I'm going to say this. That's actually better than I thought. Now, that may sound surprising because EVs are known to be quick in its acceleration.
Right.
This is not, although it's an efficient EV, more on that in a second, but Brian, why is it not fast? What's going on there?
So the reason why this is not a fun EV to drive, there's two reasons actually. One, and this is actually really the only reason, is that the way the throttle mapping is designed, this could be quick.
Oh, it could be.
It has the power. 238 is no slouch, and the torque is more than that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not a bad power unit.
Right.
But when you give it full throttle, you can actually watch the gauge. It's like, 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
On purpose.
Right. You're not getting full power outlay until about 40 miles an hour, which you're just leaving so much on the table, and it just makes it kind of boring. Now, is that how it's being so efficient? Probably.
Yeah. So
that's a trade-off, and that's what this buyer probably wants, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
The other dynamic complaint that I have, and it's weird because the Pathfinder did the exact same thing. It is unbelievably darty.
It is.
And you are constantly making driver inputs to go straight.
And okay, can I add to that?
Sure.
When you put on the driver aids, like the lane centering, where it takes over steering for you,
right?
It is just hit and miss. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's okay, but then other times it's like, pay attention to the road. I'm like, I'm literally keeping it centered right now.
Yeah,
it thinks you're not steering, and then it starts beeping at you and flashing. Like,
right.
Take over steering. I'm like, okay, I was in the center lane the entire time.
I don't want to discard your input, but I have that problem with a lot of systems. So
It's
the problem
extra
here, too.
sensitive in this one than
Well, I
others.
think it's because it's correcting itself constantly too.
It could be.
So another point of contention I'm a little confused about is, like on Raptors, you've got the new marker on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
This has a watch your 6 marker. I don't.
But it's a square bottom. A flat bottom.
Flat bottom. A little confused. All right. Now I will say, I don't know what you did to the seat. Maybe you just broke it in. But when I drove this earlier in the week, I could not get enough headroom to make it work. I have enough headroom sitting here. The seats are
pimped it
pretty.
out a little bit.
You pimped it out. That's what it is. But when I get the seat where I want it, because right now the wheel's a little too far away.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the roof, and and that's a lot of cars. But I kind of wish manufacturers made the choice to make their range a little more in the seat. That's all. Because it's literally just a choice to do that.
Right.
And so I feel left out. I'm a little bit sad about it.
All that being said, though, Brian, I want to say this. This is a easy to drive, good hit point, good interior packaging. This is what people are looking for in cars.
Yeah.
They want a car that's easy to drive, easy to maintain, easy to plug in and not think about things. You don't have to think about anything in this. I'm not getting a performance model. I don't even care about performance. I just want it to drive and get there, and I want the styling to be cool and modern.
And it looks good.
This is all
and
that.
It's quiet and comfortable.
It is.
Look, the buyer for this car is going to like it. And look, if you're coming out of a Leaf, you're going to be blown away at how updated and nice this feels inside.
Or if you're looking at EVs and you just don't care about performance and you just want the most hippest styling that fits your personality, maybe this is it.
Might be it. With all that said, I think they're onto something. And honestly, this is the nicest thing Nissan's making right now.
It is. No, it really is.
And it makes, what I mean by that is, this is the only actual new platform. Everything else they make stateside is an old platform with a new skin on it. This is a new clean sheet design, and I'm excited to see what they do going forward with everything else is gas.
And we also should point this out. This is a fairly efficient EV. A lot of EVs, because they are so performance focused, they're not very efficient. They lean on this EV idea like they're efficient just because they're EV.
Yeah, look at
that doesn't mean it's efficient.
The Hummer EV is an example of that. There's one of the most green vehicles on the planet.
The F-150 Lightning is not really efficient. It's efficient for a truck.
Right. But the Mach-E is not this efficient. It's like 78 mpg.
Right.
So that, look, if you're gonna be real with this, they're doing a good job with that. They've taken everything they've learned from old Leaf. They've been doing the Leaf forever, and they've applied it here to be green.
It was nice to get home, plug it in late at night because I forgot to plug it in, wake up the next morning, and it was actually fully charged, and it turned itself off.
Bravo.
My garage wasn't completely hot like a
it wasn't
sauna.
A turbine going inside. And you're basically saying Nissan made a good EV.
Well, they did.
There you got it. Thanks for watching Texas Truck Channel. I know this is not a normal thing. We're usually doing burnouts and stuff, but good job, Nissan. I think you achieved the objective here.
That's the future.
See you next time.